All right, Tevin. So obviously you're coming off your freshman season. What are some of the things that you've learned in the offseason you feel like that has kind of helped you out this season so far?
In terms of what I carried over from last year, what I learned, especially from backs like Danny and X, was just like getting mentally prepared, whether that be for practice, for games, even recovery. Like just get mentally prepared. I feel like that's something I got a lot better at coming into this fall.
What do you think about the offensive scheme Dillingham has installed so far?
He's including the running backs in a lot more pass game, which I like, and I know our whole running back core is good at. So, just exploiting our strengths is what I'm looking forward to.
What exactly do you feel like are some of those strengths that he's exploiting, you think?
In terms of the running back group, like I said, just stretching us like out in the backfield, getting us an open space, just where we feel comfortable.
And do you feel like that kind of scheme obviously works well with you?
Let me tell you something.
Got a question?
So how does it feel to be one of the best-looking running backs in the room? Do you let the ego get to you sometimes?
Nah. Of course I'm the best-looking back. No, don't tell anybody else.
Speaking of that running back room, what have you taken away from guys like Scatterbo and DeCarlos Brooks?
Oh yeah, especially Scatterbo. I swear this whole time I needed a running back like him. Just like he's a real hard runner. He doesn't just run hard. Like that's his mentality when he runs, and that's something I want to carry over into my game, especially being a bigger back. So that's something I've been taking away from his game as well.
Aguado kind of said you were, as talented as it come when it comes to being a running back. Has he kind of spoken to you about, what your role could be this season?
Not so far. I mean, right now we still are battling for spots. We don't know. Shoot. I mean, he says all the time, when he's talking to us, anybody can get hurt at any time. So everyone's got to be ready. Even the freshmen that just came in, they got to be ready. Everyone's got to be ready. So we're going to see what that looks like going into fall.
And when you talk about everyone being ready, what are some of those things that you guys do as a group to make sure everyone's being as prepared as possible?
Just make sure everyone's going game speed. Nobody takes reps off. Mental reps, physical reps. Make sure you're catching the ball. Just all the little things. Make sure you're going to be the guy.
How have you seen, or I guess, how has the group as a whole kind of adapted to Coach Baldwin's system, and kind of what are the differences that you might see from previous year's teams?
Definitely what I said earlier, like in terms of what we changed from the previous year is catching the backfield, running backs catching up the backfield, even when lining up, shooting, slot, wide receiver, whether that be anything, just catching up the backfield.
What about your offseason? What was that like, just kind of go through those summer workouts with Coach O?
In terms of that, well, of course that was tough. Summer is the hardest. It's harder than fall. I don't care what anybody says, but just some things that I work on, just trying to get bigger, just thicker, while maintaining my speed. And some of the stuff worked on football-wise was just my catching ability and my pre-snap reads in terms of blitz pickup.
With this group, a guy like Cam who's accomplished a lot at the college level, what can you take from his game and the way he works to apply it to your game?
I like his mentality more than, of course he's a hard runner, but I like his mentality more than his running, because when he runs, he knows he tells me all the time, he said, I'm going to run somebody over this practice. Like, I like the mentality. That's something I want to pick off his game, for sure.
How's the dynamic in the room? Like, you have so much talent, so many new faces, but at a lot of times there can only be one guy out there on the field at a time. So what's that dynamic like? Kind of the friendly competition, but also working together.
I think we all have a lot of different games from me, George, DeCarlos, Scatterbo. We're all different. So I think we all have obviously some weaknesses, but we also excel in some of those categories too. Yeah.
What are some of those categories you feel like you guys both all kind of excel in?
In the same group?
Yeah.
Definitely catching. I'm not gonna lie. I can remember. I don't think any of us dropped the ball out here. I saw Kaizen caught a one-hander earlier. I caught a one-hand tip ball. So it's just natural. We practice it so much. I feel like that's all we're strong at.